What are your thoughts about the bond?
Education is incredibly important for any community. If you want to have a successful community, you've got to have a successful education a program and an educated citizenry. And so, of course, it's going to matter to elected officials that we have a successful school district. In this case, the Idaho Falls High School is an older school, physically older. It's full of proud traditions, and I love the idea that they're proposing to keep Idaho Falls High School and just create a new campus for it, one that meets the needs of 21st century students and you know, gives them that Wi-Fi environment and the learning environment that they need to succeed. So I'm very much in favor of what the school board has come up with. To me, it's a little bit genius that the Board of Trustees has been able to figure out how to build an entirely new facility and still not have to increase their level of bonding. So our tax rates will stay the same. To have flat taxation and improved facilities is wonderful, wonderful. And so I'm very hopeful that it will pass and that the students in this area will be able to look forward to improved facilities.
Do you think it will pass?
You know, I've learned not to put my finger to the wind, but I feel like when people study it and they'll see that the assumptions that are made behind this no increase proposal are pretty solid. It's not, it's a pretty solid recommendation and a proposal. The school board's been working on this conundrum, this problem of how do we meet the students' needs and give them the facility they need with limited resources. They've been working on this for about 2 years, and I feel very comfortable with the assumptions that they've made, and I have gone back and sort of looked at some of that.
And it not only impacts Idaho Falls High School, but it will give some remodeling or upgrades to Skyline.
It does, and that's, I think that parity is important. I mean, patrons want to see all the kids in the district be able to succeed. And so that's another beautiful element to this. They're addressing everybody's needs, not just one single school.
So the opponents would argue that, as far as the tax rate, that it's being based on the assumption, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's being based on the assumption that growth will continue in Idaho Falls over the next 20 years?
I think it is based on a 20-year time frame, but those are not immodest assumptions. Yeah, those numbers I think are very conservative. They would pass muster with any financial planner. It's not like they're aiming for pie in the sky sorts of numbers. Not at all. They're very conservative.
And then also, if it doesn't pass, then do tax rates go down?
I would imagine that would be the case. There would be no improvements to schools. Those other bonds would expire. And you know, I haven't really asked that question because I've been focused on what the needs are. And the needs in this case are that, or all indications are that our kids need some facilities that are upgraded and updated to, as we say, I keep saying it, 21st century education is not the same as those 19th century school buildings that we tend to model school education after right now.
And you're a proponent of education. A lot of people know that. And so very good. Is there anything you want to add?
I will just emphasize that giving area kids a boost is the best thing that this generation can do for the next generation, for the rising generation. Sometimes we want to look at our pocketbooks and be very, very careful. Well, most of the time we do. I mean, that's just in the nature of things. But for us to look into the eyes of those kids that are coming up and deny them, it doesn't make sense. We can't do it. This is one of those times where we might have to say, it's worth spending a tiny bit on our kids. But in this case, we're not being asked to spend any more. And so it's a beautiful proposition.